Hi Scorpio, fellow Scorpio, Polina here, talking to you about this incredible fellow fixed sign, Aquarian Saturn, happening in your fourth house. This is why I live on this planet. Okay, okay, so let's talk about you. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about us and the sequencing here, okay? So, computer tells me, well, officially, apparently, it starts on the 21st of March, this transit 2020, and it continues up until the 2023rd March, so 7th of March 2023. So it's like a 3-year transit, and it's got something to teach us. I don't feel we have to do anything different that much. So to me, for Scorpio, it looks like a very, very, very good and beautiful time just to kind of sit alone sometimes, to watch your peers go about their day, to make sure you don't market yourself and you don't burn yourself down to the ground, trying tirelessly to walk up to that next peak, simply as you're not really needed now. Okay? Fourth house Saturn. You are not real for it. So there are people with lots of things happening right now. It's like people are trying to make a new business, people are trying to scope out that new beginning, that new thing. Like Virgo might be having to grow, Pisces also. You're not real for it. There is something unreal. So even if you start like a brand new website, even if you start that new relationship, even if you're trying so hard, there's like a giggle in it. It's like, why? Like, why? And the thing is, the world will give you the most if you're just a tired old guy. I'm not kidding you. I know most astrologers would disagree, but it's like, I'm just that guy. It's like, okay, so I got a 2 bedroom place. Maybe I will polish the floors in that 2 bedroom place. Okay, so maybe after I polish the floors, I might install a new washing machine in that new place. And there are lots of things you can do, like a turtle. And then eventually you either sell the place or you buy a new place. But it's like turtle speed. So it's not like, for example, Pisces might want to like have 3 houses instead of one. Like, give me the 3 houses now. Or like say, even Libra might want to like paint their house orange and then sell it to a really bad investor and then like, kind of like trip themselves up a little bit a few times, but at the end somehow make $1 million. You, my love, don't have to do any of this. So to me, a Scorpio basically just uh, divines. It's like, well, like I have my, say, violin here and I've been playing for 16 years and I'm going to play a bit more. I'm just going to do that a bit more. So, for example, my mother is in an old folks place and I'm just going to go visit her, bring her some oranges. The most amazing results for you, amazing results in the future and the past come from the normal things that a normal Scorpio will do. And why is because the more normal and regular you are, the crazier the events around you and the sexier you seem to be. So, one of the most enigmatic and sensual and just like, oh my gosh, beautiful parts of a Scorpio at this point in time is significance of who they are as it is. And kind of like the great feeling about their own home and their own house, their own dream, their own skin, their own physical. That is the that is the menacing part also for someone else. So, for example, you might be part of a picture, part of a play, part of a display, and you just sit there. You just want them to go because, you're real. You're more real than them. And sometimes people feel a menace in you or with you or around you because you are super still. And sometimes you just like more real than real. And that is how come sometimes a Scorpio might be even a little gross or strange to people as they age or as they change into their greater, higher selves, the higher states. That gestation and that kind of confidence and that inability to feel anything on a level like nothing, an ability to feel anything for anything, can be the most putrid, the most scary, but also the most sexy and the most emotional experience for another person. So there is something to be said about lost and found. Okay, so a Scorpio person, especially got a lot of Scorpio, might have a touch of madness about them, and also a touch of magic, because magic and madness go hand in hand. There's also something or somebody beside you or behind you that probably really struggles. And because you are that safe, or that's like, stop it, don't worry, like that makes people go crazy. And some of the time, this can create a very violent result. So that's weird, okay? Lost and found, okay? So, for example, you're living there, each day you're just dying and reborning, dying and rebirthing, eating the same stuff every day, you always have the same sandwich, you have absolutely the same type of space and time. But then a fire happens, or like somebody steals from you, like crazy stuff happens. And this is not because there is something out of time. This is not because you necessarily are the type of person. It's just more like life tries to coax you into more creation. And people want you to change, and people want you to please them on some level, and people want you to participate. So, like, for example, you have like a very sort of slow cooking Scorpio, and then at the end of the day, perhaps they don't feel anything or anybody is right. And perhaps on some space and time, they don't even want anything to notice them or anything to bother them. They don't want anyone in their home anymore. Or maybe they don't want anyone in their heart. And then once they are there, then the universe really wants them to participate. And this is why, because certain things can go wrong. You can have a microwave blow up. You can have a person visit your home and never leave. You can have unnurtured people come to your house. You can have here very, very weird gospel things happening in your home. You can have like parties. You can have like strange sense of surrender. You can have very emotional, erotic experiences in your very house. You could have 3 times more vibrancy and vibration happening within the ordinary or the normal things. And why sometimes it hurts us is because it's like we just got there. It's like I've judged, I was angry, I was not fine, I had anger issues, I needed a therapist. And then just as I get to that beautiful phase of absolute forgiveness and trust of the world, and I feel absolutely uninterested in anything but, like, say, painting my walls, growing grass, sitting alone. Just when you get there, that's when it happens, or when it happened. And it could be like crazy, like states of safety, states of absolute immaturity at the same time. I mean, I'm like one of those people that it really doesn't understand how this could actually possibly happen. It's like I am at the most sensitive, open hearted, relaxed, and possibly crazy cool and amazingly calm state at this point in time. But the things that happen around me are just not well, just weird. It's like you're the paramedic here, it's crazy. And the main thing I believe for you guys is basically to take it as a truth. There's going to be all of this stuff happening probably all through this transit, all through this year, specifically 2020, because it's the first phase of Aquarian Saturn, that is just gonna blow you into like a completely even crazier, even weirder, or even more economical, even greater version of you. Can you imagine being even greater than this right now? Incredible. So it's like you're walking your road, and it could be like the same place every time. It could be the same people every time. It could be just the same. It's just the same stuff. And then as you get comfortable and you got this like also maybe false level of conformity, and you believe, you even can trust, I'm the same as other people. Like I was a complete martyr in my 20s. I'm in my 50s, for example. Not me, but you could say. And I'm in my 50s, and like I'm at a complete like loss of words. Like this is like a crazy thing that happens sometimes. I'm like completely conformed to my country, to my place, to my host, whoever it is, or to my friends or family. I'm not even bothering anyone. I'm not even saying anything mean. I'm not even asking anybody anything. I'm just walking along. Like, say I'm smoking, or I'm like drinking or drive, whatever I'm doing. I'm just not doing anything. Okay, this is it. This is where Scorpios are at their most wanted state. But here's the thing, you might have something very hot and heavy or heavy handed come into your world. So, like, say you could generate a lover who's like completely on fire and they want you like to do this or that, or they want to be in control all the time, and you're like, I'm so sorry, I'm so lazy, and I'm so tired, why is this happening right now? But in that is truth. There's a truth of the world inside that person, a little pearl of wisdom, something. Or like, for example, you are that connected, your car like completely wrecks, and you're like, how like, who placed some voodoo on me? Like, why my car wrecked, like, and then maybe you don't need it right now. Maybe you don't need to drive anywhere, or maybe it's time to buy a new vehicle. Like this, like really interesting how it just kind of like makes sense. Or there is like a very interesting like counterpart in every story. So anything you're going through right now already perhaps has a very interesting relationship to God, or has a very interesting relativity as to like what it all means or what it meant for you. And the main business of time, or the main business with time right now, because Saturn is time, is just to know it and understand. This is where you guys do the best. Someone comes to your house, they're like on fire, their face is red, like they're crying, crying, always crying, like something really intense coming into your home, or just happening around the most normalist places and people. And you just got to be placed there, just get it, understand. And this is when the craziest things happen. This is like where the sequencing is completely nuts. So they come into your house for 2 months. They say that their dog is like ran away from home or been hurt or something. They're crying. Their face is red. You're like, okay, crisis. Okay, I'm in crisis too. If there is a person in crisis, it means it's also a reflection of me. Okay, and you like pat them on the back and you say that you will help them with their story. They run away. 3 minutes later, the dog gets found, or like gets better or something. That's an interesting thing. And then why did you do that? Perhaps that person and the dog are a metaphor for your life. Maybe you are the person looking for something of yours that you haven't found. And then you're like, oh crap, my wedding ring. Oh, here it is in the sink. Almost inside the sink. And you're like, wow, I have absolutely no idea, but I found my soul. So see, like questions and answers, and they're endless. I found my soul. I found my wedding ring. I found my soul. And then you recognize that, for example, your husband is not connecting with you for the last 7 years, and then you don't know how to fix it. Then the person comes back to your house again with the red face and the crying eyes, but they're not crying anymore. They're laughing. Okay, and then this is like within minutes. Okay, time in the fourth house, incredible. And they give you a hug and they like hold your hand. They say, thank you so much. Like, I don't know what you did, but like, I'm feeling so much better. And just like a couple of things you said, la di da di da. And you have no idea. You had like the shamanic effect on this person and their dog. And you're like, okay. And then they tell you something like, my husband died. And the reason why, like, I think that he passed on so like early or something is because I didn't really hear him, or I didn't really see him. This like crazy person at your house, or like in your most vulnerable state. You're like, oh, okay, okay. And it may be that your current husband does not connect with you as a mirror to their story, also because you don't see or hear each other. So maybe you evolve the events. Maybe you find some videos or like some DVDs, you sit down, maybe you don't see each other, but you're looking in the same direction at least, yeah? Looking at the screen. And then like after like a while, like a week goes past, you go through like a series of Seinfeld or something. And then inside the Seinfeld, inside the series, you find a few more clues about who you are, who you used to be. Like this is like trivial stuff like that. Normal life facing you in a different way, and you're being placed into a sequence with people and other stories. And you are maybe not unique, but your energy matters. And also there is like a big energy, like this big essence about how you spend your time. So like the minute you realize it now, you'll be like, whoa, I'm going off the grid. So it's like, for example, how you sit there, if you look at your Facebook, if you look at your computer, are you looking at someone's face in your house, especially? Like, do you do things together? Are you working with people? Are you walking with yourself? Any minute of time already by 2020, March, you already know, you already see anything you spend your time with or on gets quantum warped or quantum created. And that is something that is super, super amazing. But you need to learn about the strength and the weakness of this time, because if you don't want to learn, if you don't want to change, if you don't want to be anybody another person has been, and if you're already crazy, like, I don't want this, I don't want that, I'm gonna, I don't know, like, wear a wig, go to a party, I'm gonna like respect myself more if I'm somebody a little different, and maybe I don't need this place, I don't need this house, you know. If you are messy like that, that's where Scorpio loses its brain. This is where you can get sick, you can get disease. Freaking easy, fourth house Saturn. Okay, your body also requested to change in the fourth house. So that's when you, for example, feel really offbeat and out of time with the normal securities in your life, and then you start to like make funny business. And it's like, I'm gonna buy a motorbike, I'm gonna shave my head, I'm gonna break my break my bank, I'm gonna do all these things, I'm gonna go like, you know, like whoa, Scorpio, like, ooh, crazy. That makes you mentally unwell, and then eventually, essentially, you don't have any stability behind you. So like these stable thoughts and feelings and these mundanities, I believe, are greater than great, and also the psychic power is like through the roof once you just know the simple things, simple debris, even debris over your life, or like the debris in your stomach, the debris in your closet, and you just understand how you're living, da 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 da, time is changing, time is ticking. That's something that you might need, honestly, more than enough of in order to conceive for yourself a greater future. So, like, relax, take it easy, sit alone, and then change everyone else through just absolutely normal stuff. Normal stuff. Okay, so what's right for you? 2020, okay, this gets extreme. This is extreme. People coming to your house, things happening around your home, your neighborhood, or just like the general stuff. Even if your family's maybe in a town next door, you'll still see like there's like something really weird happening there. Then maybe by 2021, you're already done. You like start your own thing. And this is where you start a pottery class from inside your garage. That's when you're one of the best people in the world because you do things at home, like you do knitting at home, you take it to the markets. Amazing. You help another person out. You can have a child. You can easily conceive a child 2021 and or in 2020. You can have maybe energy exchange with another being that becomes a part of your home. Whoever lives with you right now, or whoever wants to come to your house, like knocking on your door, probably part of your home, or inviting you further into their house, probably going to be part of your home. 2022, 2021 also. If you don't really want to be there, start to walk away because it's really hard to erase some of these patterns of people. And also, some things don't erase through space and time. There are some memories of some people, they will never leave your mind. They will just never leave your mind. So it's important to know how you are breeding, connecting, creating, crafting, what you are making in your home, specifically 2023. 2022, yeah, you have to make sure that you do the do. 22, okay, so for example, you decided to paint your roof, do the do. You gotta get out of there, okay. Immigration, fantastic. Facing changing tides, okay. 2023, close it off and forgive. Already April 2023, you gotta move on. So these slow, that's amazing. And this is where you get your wings. This is like where you're flying around the world. This is where you're partying with the best. This is where you meet Tony Robbins. This is where you like fall in love, you know? Okay, fine. But like 2022 has to be that glue. So it's like you got to do the thing, and you got to make sure that you do it real, and you got to make sure that you also like move on from other people that are not placing you correctly. So for example, you have stagnation in your house, you got mold in your house, you got creepy people in your house, you got party in your house, you got a energy of anger or frustration in your house. You got to make sure you take measures in 2022. Make it clean. Clean, like especially your body, your house, your endocrine system, your inner being, inner health, outer health, external, internal factors on this plane have to be absolutely clear. The contact with your mother, contact with your father, everything has to be completely completely packed and just do the do. And then 2023 can go any way you want. If you've done very well in 2022, you don't even have to do a thing, it'll find you. If you did the thing 2022, you get suddenly supplied with a lot of money. Somebody wants to like perhaps take you somewhere. Somebody wants to party with you. Somebody wants to invite you to a really beautiful new world, a new dimension. But 2023, you have to be real as well. So it's not just like I painted my house, I cut down my lawn, I chopped some vegetables, and I made a stew, and now I'm going to wear leather and get on that bike and ride, which is also likely. So I'm just like letting you know that there has to be a certain type of serenity and a securing during these years, especially last 2 years, 22, 23, 21, 22, 23. And then at the end of it, you might have an absolute might return, and you can have an immense amount of opportunity, immense amount of fun and activity, and super amazing time for children, super amazing time for gifts, super amazing, just incredible time. You just have to be secure enough in this transit to make that able to beam and have a clear picture. So thank you very much, Scorpio. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.